Okay, now I hope Solitary Tree was a little confidence booster. First Flowers is our next project, and there is a bit of repetitive motion to help increase your comfort level even more. Repetition is the best way to perfect any skill, so here we go. All right, I want to first show you a little picture of First Flowers so you'll have an idea of what we're getting ready to do today. Not only is it a nice, easy project, I think it's a very cute project as well. The first thing we're going to be doing is you'll be putting in your darkest green. Now, mine's going to show up here as a bright green, but you'll be putting in the darkest green that you have. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go up about, not quite halfway, up each one of these drawn lines. And you want to come down a little bit into the dirt area. This little area right in through here is the dirt area. And the reason you want to come down there just a little bit is so that when we get ready to put the dirt over this, that it won't look like the stems are sticking up in air somewhere. Now, notice the top of these. I want you to keep them fairly irregular at the top. In other words, you don't want to look like somebody set a razor across the top of these things. Now, find yourself a nice speed that's comfortable for you. And you can remember with the straight stitch, you can rotate this hoop however is the best for you, however you see the best. So if this isn't a comfortable position for you, you can also turn this on its side. Now we're going to get over here in just a second, and I'm going to show you right now before we get over there. You see where these little guys arc? This is the second little plant that actually sits in front of this one right here. For this color, and this color only, we are going to stitch right through those lines because this is the furthest away from you, so we need to get these lines in here first. Now, if you don't come down exactly over the same line you just started, then don't worry about it. Now, I'm going to come back down to the center, and now I'm going to go right back over those little curved lines that I just put in there, and you'll be able to see a little bit better here in a few minutes on the next demo what is actually happening there. So then I'm going to finish all of these little lines out through here until I get to the end. Remember now, you want to come back down into the dirt each time. Now, that takes care of the first flower, the first stem color. Now, if I were doing this for real, I would go back with my green and I would put a little bit more color, more dark color right through here just to make it a little bit easier to see. Now we're going to do the next color. And you can see already that I have some colors already in here. Oops, I'm going to keep on my tweezers here. Pull this out. Now when you start your second color, and you're going to have maybe a medium green, what you want to do is you want to start it about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch into the line you've already thread painted. Now remember, there are going to be 2 more colors after this, so you don't want to come all the way out to the end. Now this time, not only will you be coming down into the line you just did, but see these spaces between, all these little spaces in here? This time you're also going to be coming in these spaces as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this color and you're going to go all the way across just like we did. Try not to get this color, you don't want to bring it all the way down into there. You want to try to keep this bottom area. It would naturally in nature be the darkest part of the flower. I'm sorry, not the flower, but the stems would be at the base because that's where they grow the thickest. Now remember, I can go between these lines, keep the top part of this line irregular as well. Now we're back over here to these little guys. Let me get down here just a little bit. To these little guys right here. We don't want to take this line over it because if we do, we're going to cover up what we've already put in with the dark green. So this time we're only going to concentrate up here at the top until we get back over here that we can make our way to the bottom. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to cover up, come down into about 1/4 of an inch, just like we did on the other one. Work my way back over here. And you can see how fast it's going now. You may not be going quite as fast as I do, but that's okay. I've been doing this a little bit longer, and that's okay. But the thing is to try to blend one color into another. Now, I've got this over here, and what I would do at this point in time is I would naturally start and do the next 3 colors. But before I do that, while I'm down here, I want to show you how to do the dirt, and then I'm going to show you a picture of the last 4 colors on the stem. Now, go over to about a 2 millimeter zigzag stitch, and you're going to put your darkest brown in, and you're going to go across through here, and you're going to slightly cover up the bottom of these little stems right here so that it looks like they're embedded in the dirt. Now remember, you've got a second color that's got to come in here, so you don't want to get this color too thick. Now, it's hard to see with the black lines that I have on here. I'm going to come down here. This is the way the stitch looks, just like this. It's just an easy back and forth. It's a very irregular kind of stitch, and you're on a 2 millimeter stitch. So then you're going to take your second color, your medium brown or medium rust, and you'll go in between the stitches already in place to put the second brown color that's in there. Okay, we had a little commercial break, and I've just changed my thread color, but before I thread paint something else, I want to show you what I was talking about. On this particular plant right here, here's the dark color, and then the medium, and then the 2 lightest colors. So you can see how we go from a very, very dark green to a very, almost a pale yellow up through here. So that's what these stems are going to look like when you're finished. Now, before you cut this away, remember we've got to do the flowers next, and before you cut that away, what I want you to do is lay this over your stems to make sure that none of these flowers are sitting up in mid-air somewhere. Once you're convinced that all this looks good, then you're going to pin this in place. You'll cut away the excess stabilizer that was on here, and then you're going to pin this in place, and then you're going to hoop this up. And this is going to give you the flowers that you have to do next. Now, I'm not going to do the flowers right over that. I'm going to do them a little bit bigger so that it's easier for you to see. Now, the first ones we're going to do are going to be a little poppies. And you want to set your machine for the bigger ones to about a 2 millimeters. And for the smaller ones, you want to set them to about a 1.5. And you want to put your needle right here. Take a few stitches to anchor your thread. And let me get the thread tails here out of the way. And what you want to do is you want to watch the swing of your needle. Watch the needle as I go around. I'm keeping the left swing of that needle touching the outside edge. And what I want to do is I want to move this hoop very, very slowly because I'm sort of making a little satin stitch, if you will, around the outside edge. Now when I get over here to the right side, all I care about is the right swing on that needle. And what that does, it gives me a nice solid little edge on the outside. Now you won't have as much to fill in the center as I do because your flowers are much smaller than mine. But if you do, all you have to do is just do the same thing. And it's very important here to let the machine do the work. Keep this hoop moving very, very, very slowly. Now when you're finished with this particular one and you want to do, you've done all your red color poppies and you want to do the center, set your width to about a 1 millimeter, and what you want to do is just do a little circle right here in the center. And that's all you have to do. Now you're going to change threads and you're going to go to a charcoal color thread for yours. For me, I didn't bother changing the threads. Now, this little flower right here is what we're getting ready to do. They're going to show up as yellow on yours. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to about a 1 millimeter zigzag. And I'm going to put my needle. And I want to keep, remember, when I'm using a zigzag stitch and I'm using it as a fill stitch, I want to keep the line parallel to me that I'm thread painting. So I'm going to come out and around and back, and I'm going to fill this in. Now when you finish up this petal, I want you to end up in the center. And when you end up in the center, you're going to make a turn till you find the next line. Let me bring this needle up so you can see right here. Get that line parallel to me. And I'm going to do the next one. And all you're going to do is go all the way around each one of these little flowers, filling them in and making sure that each time you end up back in the center. When you get ready to do your center, which will be like a very dark brown in the center of these, you're going to turn the hoop in a circle just like I did to make the center on the poppies. Now, these little orchid flowers over here are really probably one of my favorite flowers to make. Now, I'm going to set my width a little bit longer, a little bit wider than yours, just so it makes it a little easier for you to see. But put the needle right there in the center and hold the hoop still. Don't move it at all. And what I'm going to do is go out about 8 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to make the next one just a little bit longer. Now, I'm going to end up in the center. I'm going to turn it a quarter of a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm back in the center. Let me cut this again. I'm going to do another quarter turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice too that each time I keep this hoop still. I'm not moving it at all. There's nothing that's going to be going in the center of these. So this is what your little flowers are going to look like. Now yours are going to be way smaller, but here's a finished one in the blue, in the red here. And as you finish this one, just raise your needle and go to your next position to start and do the rest of them right there. Now before you finish what you're doing, I want you to go back and look at your design, evaluate everything that you've got, and make sure that there's nothing that needs to be touched up. Here's the finished one right here. There's a little dirt area right through here, and then you're going to be ready to go. So this is a finished picture of first flowers. Pretty cute.